From Fenway nights to the Garden's roar, legends rise with the champions soar. On the ice, the Bruins fight for the crown. Drake May, the talk of the town. Ortiz swing, the crack of the bat. Fenway's faithful tip their hat. Bray's legacy, 6 rings, pure gold. Gillette's a fortress where stories unfold. The Bruins battle, black and gold grind. Hockey heroes etched in time. Banner 18 up in the Garden skies. Boston sports where legends arise. Celtics Source where the bright lights shine. From Red Sox diamonds to the Pats front line. Bruins on the ice, breaking through the freeze. Celtics are champs and against they may please. Sit back and relax, sports are not lame. Your Celtics Source back in the game.
The Boston Celtics were unable to steal the shorthanded win against the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Hello, and welcome in to your Celtics Source, home of your 16-4, second place Boston Celtics. The Celtics were missing 2 key guys in both Derrick White and Jaylen Brown. And this was not necessarily a game where you needed Jaylen Brown and his scoring, but you definitely needed Derrick White's defense, because the Cavs have 2 dynamic ball handlers and scorers in both Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. And Drew Holiday couldn't do it both by himself. And yes, Sam Hauser stepped up. KP was alright. I'll talk more about him later. But you needed Derrick White just so you could have an extra defender there, because Donovan Mitchell went nuclear in that fourth quarter. He scored 19 points to overcome a 12-point deficit, which the Celtics had going into the fourth quarter. And this loss, I think, came down to JT in the end. Right? Jayson Tatum, he had a good night in terms of stats. 33 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, a steal, only 2 turnovers. But he missed some crucial layups down the stretch. Most of them transition layups, where he decided to go up against 3 Cavs defenders on a fast break instead of just kicking it out to an open trailing shooter. And JT was complaining, thinking that those were fouls. And they weren't. He was just missing the bunny. We saw him get a little complacent in this one. He wasn't able to sort of post his way into the basket. And he had a couple of those fadeaway mid-range, which he does well at. And I wish he would take a little bit more of those than those deep threes. We'll talk about deep threes in a second, because Peyton Pritchard continues to hit them at an unbelievable rate. You know, let's talk about that. I don't even know how he keeps doing it. 24 points, 7 rebounds, a crucial offensive rebound, and 3 assists for Peyton Pritchard in this one. He was hustling for every rebound. Even if the shot went in, he was still on the ground, sort of banging his way against both Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. He's going to be the 6th man of the year this year. It's not even a question. Could he be a potential all-star down the road? That's crazy. Joe Mazzulla didn't even start him in this game. I don't know why. Why would you not start him with the energy that he brings? The points, the defense, holding his own against Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Right, Darius Garland, yes, he had 22 points, but like 10 of those came in garbage time when they were fouling him instead of Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell was so hot. But Joe Mazzulla goes with Sam Hauser and Al Horford. And Sam Hauser had a great game. You know, he's in that. Pritchard had this year last year where he didn't have that great of a season. He was sort of growing, learning new ways to play, being more of a facilitator, doing other roles instead of just scoring. And I feel like Hauser's going through that right now. Joe Mazzulla is asking him to be more of that playmaker, that rebounder, a defender. And he's never going to be a two-way player, but he could definitely be solid on that defensive end. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. So maybe next year, Sam Hauser will be, right? He was a 43% three-point shooter, and he's down to 35. And when that's the only thing you do, 35% is not going to cut it. But if he's going to do more, you'll live with that 37. It would be nice for him to get up to 37. And I think he will later in the season as he gets more used to this. Sort of more used to his minutes going up, his playmaking, and the Celtics counting on him to make plays. You know who the Celtics did count on, though, in this game? Drew Peterson. His first real minutes. He played the entire second quarter and 25 minutes overall after just playing 30 NBA minutes for his entire career before this. And he scored 8 points, 4 rebounds, a steal. And he's a resident G League player. But Joe Mazzulla has trust that, right, he knows the way the Celtics play. The G League does it the exact same way, so they're ready to play in the NBA. And he's been working hard, and so Joe Mazzulla's like, you know, I trust him, and he definitely showed up. Right? You're not looking for a guy like this to go off and just explode. You need him to just not shrink in the moment, and he definitely didn't do that. He was a 0 in net rating, which shows, right, like that shows that he didn't hurt or help the team. Right? We saw Jordan Walsh get his minutes earlier in the season, and I wouldn't say he made the best out of them. We're still waiting for, you know, Baylor Shireman to have his moment, because he was a first round pick after all, and it would be nice for him to see what he can do. He hasn't been shooting great in the G League, but I think just Joe Mazzulla is not only looking for the talent, and he's also looking for, have you been putting in the work for a consistent time? And Baylor Shireman's new to the system, so he hasn't had as much time, which is why I think he went with Drew Peterson in this one. Right? And you know who else has been cooking in the G League? What's his name? Let me find his name real quick. Why am I blanking on his name? His name is... His name... Why can I not think of his name? His name is... Oh, J.D. Davison. That's who I'm talking about. Why couldn't it come to me? He's been scoring like 30 points a night, 12 rebounds, something like that. So, he could play soon. And he might play end of the season if the Celtics have that luxury, which they might not. It seems like the Cavs are going to be neck and neck with the Celtics all season. So they might have to play till the end for that first seed. Right? It's one thing to not have the first seed in the NBA, because who knows whether that team is going to make it to the finals. But you need that first seed in the Eastern Conference, because there's a much higher chance that you're going to run into that team. Porzingis, we'll talk about Porzingis quickly. I didn't think he had a great defensive game. there were a couple plays where he sort of, Darius Garland or Mitchell sort of penetrated the paint, got too far into the paint, and sort of Porzingis had to come off of his stance and sort of help on that. And there was a dish, and Mitchell and Garland would dish it to like Mobley or Allen, and it wasn't like it was an open dunk. It was just Porzingis was sort of underneath the basket at that point and had lost his position on Allen and Mobley, and so there were some easy floaters and sort of post-ups that they were able to do that had Porzingis not had to help, Porzingis probably would have prevented those. So sort of a lesson that Celtics need to do a little bit better job on that defensive end. And of course it hurts missing Brown and White. And unfortunately, White might be out for this stretch ahead, a tough stretch ahead for the Celtics. 4 games in 5 nights. We have Miami Monday. It looks like, Jimmy Butler might be out for this one. But if White's out, and of course Porzingis and Horford will both be out, I would not play Porzingis in a single game against Miami this year after what happened in that playoffs this year. Just superstition, but still. And then big game for the Celtics on Friday against the Bucks, who are playing well right now. They've won, I think, their last 6 games, something like that. So Friday night, ESPN, national televised game. That'll be fun. And then I think Saturday, Memphis comes to town. So Marcus Smart's return. And Ja's playing like a superstar right now. And then, of course, sort of what goes on with the NBA Cup. Right? The Celtics are not playing in it right now. That'll start next week if they make it. But I think, if the Orlando wins against New York, and the Pistons and the Bucks, who are playing each other, if one of them wins by 7 or more in that Orlando win, the Celtics would make it. And I'll do a full video discussing that after they play each other. After Tuesday's night, I'll do a NBA Cup recap. So make sure you watch that. But I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on social media so you don't miss out on any content from all your favorite sports teams in the City of Champions. And until next time, go Celtics.
Celtics Source where the bright lights shine. From Red Sox diamonds to the Pats front line. Bruins on the ice, breaking through the freeze. Celtics are champs and against they may please. Sit back and relax. Sports are not lame. Your Celtics Source back in the game.